Nata, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, and we were chatting a little bit by email, and I looked into your discography, your music, and many of your projects and interviews. So I really wanted to ask you. I have a lot of questions, but I wanted to ask you. You went to Bergen the first time when you were 18,
Yes.
and that experience
Was
was
crazy.
yeah.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
So it was 2017
Mm-hmm.
when I came here with my really close friends. At the time, we were like really party friends as well, you know, like partying so intensely. And we came here, and it was the first time when I was supposed to go to Berghain. And I remember the feeling, I just like this stomach ache, you know, like the nervousness. I don't know how to explain this, you know. And then we entered, and I'm like, okay, wow, you know, it was just I was speechless, and I went there and I stayed there for 20 hours. I couldn't leave. And I will never forget DVS1 closing. It was the first time when I listened to his actually set.
Wow.
And I was just, I don't know, the best experience till this day, like ever.
So interesting. And at that time, were you already playing music yourself?
No.
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 Okay.
I would say that electronic music came quite late because during my upbringing and, you know, my childhood, I was listening to R&B and soul and blues and, you know, like rock and everything else than other than electronic music.
Okay.
So, but I remember this first Berghain had a quite huge impact on me, you know, because I was like, okay, this is something that makes me feel really like loose and, you know, I don't know, confident and, you know.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but at the time I didn't think that I could play or even try, you know. It took me about like year and a half after, you know, that first party at Berghain. But then I slowly started to just like get stuck with this thoughts that, okay, I just want to do something, you know? I mean, I also want to, because I was just looking at the DJs as like Helena Hauff and, you know, so many amazing names and, you know, musicians. And I was just looking at them and of course not comparing to themselves, but just being like, I love what they're doing, you know, because I have goosebumps. I feel like, wow. And maybe I can also feel doing it on my own, you know?
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was still very insecure in terms of like, at the time, like it was 7 years ago maybe, like girl DJs were not that, you know, powerful. And it wasn't like, oh wow, you know, she's a DJ, she's a girl. It was like, I don't know, maybe she's gonna be commercial DJ, which is quite offensive, you know?
Yeah.
So I was very insecure, but I knew that I wanted. And then one time, there was just the day I decided, okay, I'm gonna go and learn how to play. And actually, Boyd Shit was my teacher. He's the resident of Hidi.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just spent 1 month in the school, and then I slowly started to build it up, you know, on my own, just doing, you know, some stuff at home.
So at that point, were you thinking already about potentially being a professional DJ? No. It was
No,
purely out of...
I couldn't think that far because maybe I was not very confident, you know. I was still very unexperienced. Also, like lack of confidence sometimes make you feel very how can I say, put you in the box, you know. And but maybe it was kind of like bipolar feelings, you know. Sometimes I would be like, oh yes, you know, I'm gonna do it, and then okay, no, you know, who's gonna like it, you know.
Yeah. What was the environment you were in? Your friends, maybe family?
Yes, actually one of my very, very first experiences, what I can remember is with my really dear friend. She's a DJ. She's a great DJ called Nebieri. And at the time, I was more into electro, UK, you know, everything else than techno. And I actually I used to hang out with her a lot, and we used to play at my tattoo studio because I had the equipment there, and we were just like doing back to back, and all the time we were just spending time together.
Mhm.
That's who I can remember the most, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a big role in my DJing.
Very interesting.
Yeah, journey.
And she was already DJing at that time, so she
Yes.
helped you kind of get started.
She's been DJing since, I don't know, like also the vinyls, when I could never imagine like
Yeah, playing band.
little girl playing on the vinyls as she
Yeah.
played, and she's an amazing friend and DJ, and yeah.
Yeah. But she knows that she had this influence on you, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, maybe she doesn't know, and she's gonna hear it from
No,
me.
she will know.
Yeah.
And was the rest of your environment supportive of the idea of you becoming a DJ?
I wouldn't say so. Not so much. That's why I already mentioned that it was like this kind of stigma that like, she's gonna be a commercial DJ, you know? You know, like this kind of thing, which actually made me feel very bad. And yeah, but I'm lucky that I'm not that insecure sometimes, that I didn't allow them to kind of stop me from doing what I love the most, you know?
Yeah.
But it was not a very supportive environment at the time, you know? But the first club who supported me was Cafe Gallery, which I will never forget. And also the first gig I had was in a drama bar. It was one of the most iconic places in Tbilisi. It's not, it wasn't like a techno or just like underground club, but it was the vibe, period.
Very cool. And how did you get to play it? So Cafe Gallery came first and Drama Bar second.
Yes, and you know, it's like the community, you know? People know you, and they called me for their live stream, and after the live stream I think I did quite good job, and they just booked me, and it was great, you know. I remember how excited I was about it, you know. I will never forget that, probably.
Yeah. Was that, for example, when you started playing at Cafe Gallery, did your perception or like your relationship with self-doubts change? Because you
Of course. Yes, since then, now you mean?
Yeah, until now, of course.
Of course. But I remember the feeling when I played in Cafe Gallery. I already felt something very special from the crowd, you know? I never had this like kind of lost moment when you don't feel this connection between you and the crowd, which I'm very lucky, you know? I really think that I got very lucky, because it's not everybody's situation, you know? But I felt that immediately, but by time till now, of course, it has changed. I look it with a very different side, you know, from now. So because I'm more grown up, I'm more mature. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was still very young and very unexperienced. Yeah. It was just like, I love DJing. You know, that's how I started. It wasn't like I wasn't into electronic music since childhood. No, it wasn't like. But I was around music forever. You know, that's what I can definitely say.
And I read that you were singing already at that time.
Yeah.
So singing came before you started DJing.
It's actually a really important part of my journey, because I was singing since I remember myself, you know, probably like 4, 5, 6 years old. But it was never like this public, how can I say that? I was not publicly doing it, because since then I was already feeling insecure. You know what I mean? I was going to the, like, I don't know, very different school from what I wanted. So I never had this, environment for myself to actually like explore it as a singer, you know. But I was just loving it, and I obviously had I don't want to be like arrogant, but talent, you know, to sing. But I was more singing like R&B, and you know, exactly. Like there was no such, you know, PJ Harvey for me. There was something else, and what was the question?
So the question is, singing came before you started actually DJing. So it was
it was way before. But then when I started DJing, I somehow lost lost this, I don't know, how can I say, but the purpose in being like plus singer and DJ, because at the time, as I already told you, there were so many stigmas, you know, that, oh, she's gonna be commercial, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it got me like, I don't know, probably insecure again, that maybe I don't want to do both, because it's not going to be appropriate, which is stupid, you know, like it has nothing to do with each other. It's just like I'm doing what I feel, you know. It's just it's my inner flow. It's
so interesting for me, because especially you were not in an environment that was particularly supportive of this. It's fascinating. How did that develop? You were very strong, probably, or very passionate about it?
I mean, I would say I'm very passionate about music in general, you know, which actually keeps me alive, because there has been so many times when I've been on the very like thin red line to completely lose it, or no, just like fight for it, you know. Also, you know, some mental health issues, you know, there are times when you just feel lost, and I've been there so many times, but in the end, music is the purpose, you know, like it really makes me feel alive. That's how I start my morning. It doesn't necessarily mean that I listen techno at home in the 10 a.m., you know what I mean? But in general, I'm very passionate, and since I moved to Berlin, I realized that that's when I actually started singing again, because in Georgia there was no such thing to like let myself that like, okay, you are allowed to sing. No, there was no place for that.
Is it because of judgment, or
probably
lack of representation, for example?
But I'm not talking about like in general the people were like bad to me or something like that. But in general there was this like I don't know, pressure maybe that you have to be like perfect. You have to like follow the rules of this underground, which I understand now, but it has nothing to do with each other. You know, singing and songwriting and DJing is just, it can be part of each other, you know.
And you refined it when you finally moved to Berlin a couple of years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago. Yes.
Yeah. And what made it change in Berlin?
When I told you 2017, I came here for the first time. And that was the moment when I knew that I wanted to live here, even though I was not DJ yet. But I
Before
knew,
or after Berghain?
Yeah. After, definitely after. But I really felt that, you know, this is the place where I want to live, because yes, I feel like home.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't that easy for me to move here when I was younger, and I'm happy that I didn't do it, you know, because now I feel way more mature, and I can control myself.
Stable.
Yes, so I don't go crazy that much as I did, you know. So I just really kind of found balance, which I wouldn't be able then. And when I decided to move here, I was so scared about this bureaucracy. That was my only concern, you know, because even though I'm very independent since very young age, this having an ADHD and like handling all these documents and terms and all these things just make me feel sick, you know? It's but somehow I did it, I handled it, it went very smooth, and I moved here, and probably 3 months after I moved, I said, okay, I want to write something, you know, because I've been writing always, like, you know, this journaling all the time. But I said, I feel I want to sing, you know. Okay, I wrote something, maybe. What if I try to find a melody with it? That's how I started writing. That is not like I already had the beats or I already had the melody. No, I just started everything from scratch, and just writing something like as a poem, you know, like it doesn't have to be like very rhythmic or something. Just write it down, and then making drafts, you know, with phone. You know, I can show you later. It's just like trying some different melodies, and then once you get there, you're like, fuck, I love it.
So interesting. So the words, for example, the lyrics come before, or it's the melody?
It's no, the words are the first steps
Mhm.
I make. You
Yeah.
know, for example, I sit down and I write, and sometimes I just it's really like storytelling.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
there is not
Mhm.
just me putting some words which can fit. You know, I
Yeah.
really tell my stories. Of course, sometimes it's maybe nicer to that you can hear it like better, or I don't know, not to be very, I don't know how to say this,
Mm.
to just like out of context, but still it's my story, it's part of myself. So yeah,
Very interesting. What inspires the lyrics?
myself, my life, but I mean, it's all about me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's when I said that, okay, I'm gonna publish this, I was really getting ready the for the for this like wave from so many people, because this is my emotional part. It's not just like, okay, I'm gonna sing and be a pop singer. No, I sing about my past, or my, you know,
Mhm.
now, or just future.
Something
Not
that you
future,
relate to.
no, future,
Mhm.
no. I don't
Yeah.
care.
So it's past or present.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
And do you have specific things in life that happen to you? I don't know. For example, it could be gigs, could be travels, friends, relationships.
Yes, so many like immensely like important things, family,
Mm-hmm.
which has a big impact on it, which I assume it's really good. I mean, there used to be times when I suffered from it, and I was really hurt and just
Yeah.
trying to run away. But when I found this amazing tool, writing about it and then singing,
Mm.
I just cope with it, with singing. That's
Yeah.
how I just handle my, I don't know, sorrows. If
Yeah.
I can, yeah. If
Emotions,
I
like,
can,
or
yeah,
because it feels like you're putting them out there.
exactly.
They're existing.
Otherwise, it's a therapy,
Yeah.
like it's the best way to meditate, because I have been trying so many, the spiritual things which helped me to survive, but sometimes meditation is like when you can turn off the brain and you're like, now you're gonna chill and now you're gonna meditate, but
Yeah.
no. But the music, when I sing, this vibration coming out from my chest is it's just a natural mantra, coming
Yeah.
out from me, which really helps me to just survive. Nothing more than that,
I think I relate to that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I started writing lyrics.
Oh,
Most of them never get published. Sometimes I use them in
I
techno.
feel you.
Yeah, it's the same. But
Yeah.
I at some point I thought maybe I should. I'm not making use of this.
You
Actually,
should. Just do it. Just do
Yeah.
it. And maybe you'll see.
Yeah, and also like what I figured out is what you were saying, that just the act of writing that down in that moment is like, oh, I feel like,
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
but I don't know. It's been
Wow.
so weird
Yeah.
for me that I get so inspired on the plane.
Mhm.
Really, like that's how I created All I Want.
Mhm. I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yes. So I really, it's weird, sometimes I get so fucked up on the plane. It's not that like all the time I'm sitting and being very like
Yeah.
amazing poet, but it just sometimes it can be on the contrary, and I just have like million like thoughts and like beautiful words coming out, and I just like I'm like that you
It just
don't
write.
want to lose any of it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Where do you write? Paper?
Yes, paper, no
Yeah.
laptop,
No laptop.
No.
No phone.
no.
So you always have a paper, I guess. When. Yeah.
Always, I have my journal, and if I want to, all my lyrics are done on the papers.
On
because
paper,
that's
yeah.
how I feel connected,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And so with All I Want, the track that you released in
Yeah.
May 2022. So that came on a plane.
Yes.
It was lyrics first.
It was like just the lyrics,
Mhm.
I found myself like very naturally like thinking about the first song and the first emotions and the thoughts I got, which is the lyrics. And I just wrote it down. There was no melody, like at all. So then I met my partner, like music partner. His main name is Samuel Hedgewell, aka Hoya. He's honestly one of the most amazing musicians I ever met, and I'm very grateful to be able to work with him, because he's really big, you know, and he helped me to open up, because when we met first, I told him I really want to sing, you know. I don't care about Ableton right now. I just have to sing, you know. I have things to write down, and he said, okay, you know, I feel you. Let's try, blah blah blah. And whenever I wrote the lyrics, he was like, I don't believe that you have never written it before. And I'm like, what do you mean? You like it? And he was like, and he's not like, oh yes, you're the best. No, but he gives me this very honest, you know, how can I say, he just gives me this beautiful, very friendly, like emotional vibe, which is very supportive, and which is the most important, because I don't care about being so professional and just so famous and rich from writing music, but I just want people, even 10 people, to feel it, you know. That's what means, you know.
What drives you, probably?
So and he came to my place. He brought all this, you know, setup and everything, and he told me, now you sit on the floor, put your headphones, grab the mic, and I'm just gonna start playing something, you know, like just a melody, and whenever you're ready, try to sing what you wrote, you know. I was like, what is this guy saying? You know, like, okay, I know that I want it, but I really don't know how to do it. And then I close my eyes, completely sober. It's not like, you know. And I close my eyes, and the way I sing, I feel home, it was the first impression. We never ever worked on that maybe should we change it, and should we make it like this? Never. The first impression and the first words coming out, it stayed the way it is right now, you know.
For the entire lyrics, or it's just that part? Yeah,
it's the entire lyrics.
Wow.
Like, we never, of course we re-recorded some parts because maybe there was this glitch or something like that, but we never tried to make it better, you know. Should you like do this part maybe in another, you know, tone, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We never did that. Like, we just followed the flow, and I still feel that it's mine, you know. I really feel this song. Yeah.
That's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I think it's a great song, and I've come across that after we scheduled the interview. I was digging into your music and other interviews and work, and I was like, wow. Also because I didn't expect that.
I love that. It's everybody's first impression, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever I said that, okay, so I'm releasing the song, they're like, they were expecting somehow to be this like crazy Madonna or this like diva vibe, which I'm not.
Interesting.
You know?
For me, no, sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and whenever I dropped it, everybody was just like, huh? Nobody. It's not that, oh wow, you're a great singer, but nobody expected that this could be my song. You know, that's how you just express yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my expectation, of course, I always try to have no expectations in general.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have it. Knowing you from the DJ sets, I thought, okay, this is gonna be like a probably techno track, club track, for sure. You know?
Everybody's, you know.
Yeah, and then I was like, what? I was like, wow.
Okay.
And then it happened to me like a couple of days ago. I put it on one of my playlists on Spotify, and then it started again. I was like, wow, I love this song. I need to refine the title. And I was like, no way. And because it kept being stuck in my mind, and then I listened to it, I forgot it was your track.
Oh.
And then I listened to it, I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I looked at it, no way, amazing.
That's so sweet, you know?
It's great. And there was something I wanted to ask you about the video. So you released it with a video.
Of course. Thanks for asking, because it's a really significant part of me, you know, and my journey. So this video is made in Georgia, made by Gem Project. Of course, my best friend Gigi, he's one of the greatest. I can just talk about him non-stop. So I always loved his work, but he was too big for me, you know, like he was just too big to be true. So
famous or known or
very
busy?
famous, and ask anyone. So I called him one day and I said, Gigi, hey, you know, I dare to ask you to just listen to something and just call me. And he's like, okay, interesting. I said, and he's like literally like screaming. He's like, girl, did you do that? And I said, yes. And I really asked her, can we work together maybe to create? He's like, yes, this is what I want to do. And I was like, wow, you know, like finding Sam and plus finding Gigi and Gem Project, whole team is just unbelievable, you know. And the thing about this behind the video is just very deep, you know. Do you remember that this girl, me, is dead? Actually?
Has been
yes.
Yeah, dissected.
And, yes. So all these people sitting in this window are the people, the community, and everybody who is judging you all the time. Even if you are dead, they are trying to like put you in their own box and to see you in their own vision. And all these people, do you remember like pulling up the numbers? It's like, I want this dead girl to wear red. I want her to be like, I don't know, anything, you know. It's all about that. And also the lyrics is very interconnected with the video, because it's just all about that, you know. I was scared, and that's what I sing about, and the video is just like what people do to you, you know. Like, it's not necessarily me, just a lot of people, you know, who feel like scared and social anxious, you know. And it's about that, which I think is very deep and amazing. It's like a movie.
Yeah, it is, and it does convey the message. And I mean, of course, I think everybody would have a slightly different interpretation.
Yeah.
I think now that you're saying that, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I never said that before, because I've heard many people having their own, you know, the judgmental side and just like imagination, which is so great, because I want people to also have their own vision of me. You know, it's not that I want you to say that this is about that, but actually this is what we meant with this, and just allowed people to, okay, this is yours now, you can just take it wherever you want, you know.
I love it. I think it's also a very good way to approach it, to let people do that. Of course, you have a message, you have something you want to communicate. And 2 years later, roughly, Joy comes out.
Yes. And 2 more coming.
And 2 more coming?
Yes.
Not yet released?
No.
No, okay.
But hopefully this year. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Joy is... I love Joy, actually. It's amazing. It's amazing how it's really me, you know, like it's really, really me. I'm not lying, I'm not trying, I'm just singing, you know, that no devils can come, you know. It just came out. And I played this, I had a draft on my phone, and I called Sam, hey, I got something, and he's like, yeah, let's meet up, blah, blah, blah. So we met, and I played it, and I was like, should I play it? Maybe it's shit, you know? And I played, and he's like this. Sam, just say something. And he goes like, okay, I feel jungle in it. And I'm like, oh, yes. And he's like, I want jungles, you know, jungle, UK. Yeah. And I said, wow. And that's how we made it. And we sit, actually the process of creating and making tracks with Sam is like, we both sit in the studio, and it's not like that I write song and just lyrics and then I put it on the side and it's not like that. We sit together in the studio, even though I'm not a native speaker, I'm sometimes trying to like and explain it with my body language, because there
Yeah.
is no word for that, you know. And I'm doing beatbox to
Yeah, yeah.
make him, you know, realize what I want, you know. And that's how we that's how we make it, you know. He's like, okay, we're gonna like put the drums here, we're gonna do this, blah blah blah. And I'm like, can we just turn it up? You know, it's just like, it's just the whole process. That's how we communicate
Yeah.
while making tracks. It's not like
Very interesting.
sitting and just being like, okay, we have to
Yeah.
do the track. No,
You're really co-creating.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're like very emotional.
Mhm.
Sometimes, you know, there has been times when I just sit in studio and I'm crying, and Sam is like, yes, cry, cry. It's gonna go away, you know.
It's a therapy.
Yeah.
It's cathartic, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, and also there, very beautiful video. You standing in the middle of a beach. It looks like a beach. It could be a
It's
lake.
actually
or-
not a beach. It's in Georgia.
Mm.
This is a very iconic place. It's a lake actually,
Mm.
and yeah, it's not a place for tanning, but people go there, you know, locals, and sometimes people from Spain. And it's a really cool place. And do you remember all of them are like wearing some, you know, very colorful.
Clothes or
Yes, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just it's like it's giving like Wes Anderson
it's
vibe,
it's
right?
incredible. Oh,
Yeah, but it is really
yeah.
the way you saw in the video. I was not even wearing makeup, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't like plan the whole video to be like chic or just wow. We just, of course, I mean, Gigi and the team chose the place intentionally. We wanted to be there, but we didn't even know if people would come. You know, we went
Wow.
there from. I stood there from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m.
I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you.
my feet were so swollen, and
I was gonna ask you.
in between, I was crying, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Please, please,
Yeah.
please, we cannot go back." And I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
just so emotional. And at one point, we were like, "Do you think people will come?" Because it was 42 degrees, like. And we were okay. If not, then bye,
Yeah.
bye. We were just, you know.
So it's such a great video, and for people who haven't watched it yet or listening to this podcast, it's a video
Yeah.
where you're standing in the middle of next to the waters of the
Yes,
lake,
Yes.
and there is people from what appears to be like early morning coming, doing their things all around you, and you're
Yes.
just static there, just
Yes.
looking at the camera loosely.
Yes, and just being alone, even
Yeah.
though there is like a lot of people.
Yeah, and people left you alone, like nobody interacts with you. That's what I was wondering. Is like, maybe,
No,
you know, you
but
just
they were like a bit confused, because at some point people were like, "Why are you standing?" And I'm like,
for so long.
"Shh, we are shooting." And you know, they were just like, "Okay, girl, you need to sit down." Because I was fucked up.
Yeah.
But it was worthy, you know.
Wow.
I couldn't complain, because every time I was crying, I was like, okay, this is happening for me, nobody else.
Mhm.
This is actually what I want. So that's how I just,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Like really, that's like to me that is also very expressive. Like the visuals give you something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Where do you see All I Want and Joy as part of the same chapters of the same big story and
Exactly.
message? They are. Yeah.
Definitely.
And the two next tracks are gonna be the next ones.
I mean, I can reassure you that I think that everything I will release, or what I released already, are the same story, you
Mhm.
know, part of the story. You know, it's the same, but in a different way. There
Mhm.
is no like just a track. It comes.
Yeah.
So I started with the All I Want. The second release is Joy. Of course, it's just okay. I started. Then I'm enjoying it, and then it comes to more tracks. It's called Am I Loca?
Mm-hmm.
And Bumper, which is mixed with, both are mixed Georgian and English.
Wow. Okay.
And we're gonna do videos again, and yeah.
All I Want is just English, I think.
No, in the end there is Georgian.
Okay, and then there is
Yes.
Georgian, and Joy is mixed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joy is in English.
English.
Yes.
Okay. Then I think
You mixed it up just.
I may mix it up. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
So interesting. So in your co-producer, does he make music separately with a separate project for himself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm thinking to do the live show soon, but it's not gonna be like in a club or in a very public space.
Mhm.
I just want to do it like very intimate and just try it out, you know. I want to sit down and sing with Sam and try out some, you know, different instruments, and I don't know, just give it a try, you know.
Very cool.
Because there is no time, there is no right time for anything. You have to,
Yeah.
you have to do it,
Yeah.
and the time comes.
Yeah, amazing. Will you do that in Berlin, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah?
And
Okay.
you are all invited.
Yeah, perfect. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, in July.
In July.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. More other questions, like there's an interview you did with 60 Kicks,
Yes.
and which is about singing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one question about singing.
Do you know how many videos I shot for that? I was just like, oh.
Tell me.
I was just like, fuck, I sound so stupid. But then somehow I did it, and it was cute, you know.
Yeah.
They were like,
Super cute.
they told me to. The question was that make an impression of something, you know, to sound, I don't know, crazy, or I really don't remember the word. And I was just like, what should I sing? And that what came to my mind, to do this like stupid impression, you know.
It worked out. I mean,
Yeah,
60
it
Kicks
was
are very
cute.
fun.
It was
It
the
was
the
cute.
main point of of that interview was to be cute, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Not to try to be cool, you know, that girl.
it's cool. I mean, the 60 Kicks are generally very fun. Like, it's
Yes.
super snappy, short
Yes.
questions.
Yes.
And people, especially if you take yourself not too seriously,
Mhm.
like you will, you see it's some of the greatest
Exactly,
answers
that's
ever.
what I did, because
Yeah.
at one point I was so nervous that okay, what am I gonna do? But then I just, okay, not, you have to be like funny, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
just have fun and just forget about your DJ career, and that's fine. And when I did it, it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah.
Talking about your DJing,
Mhm.
so moving from your production and singing to DJing, how do you select tracks that go into your sets?
Actually, there is no like specific guide that I follow, but you know, I just dig into very different places, you know, mixes, labels, I don't know, just all over the internet, you know. And I also don't, how can I say, I also don't put the track list like, okay, I'm only gonna play this kind of techno or this kind of music. I just put the tracks which I feel like playing, and in the end I think all of them are like really good together, you know. But I never plan how to play like 4 hours set. I never do that. Maybe if it's a podcast or if it's, you know, like a live stream, yes, even though sometimes I don't, but I just put like first or maybe last track. But the rest is just like the flow, you know. I believe in this connection between crowd and myself, so I let them make me feel that, okay, I'm gonna play this track now, you know. That's how I think about it.
Very interesting. So do you have folders?
Yes, I do. Which is
set?
so messy. Yeah, I mean, I'm so bad at organizing things in computer. I'm really good at in my closet and everything, because this ADHD thing got me like, if it's messy, I cannot leave house, you know. I have to be like, in order to have a good day, my wardrobe has to be in shape.
Because otherwise probably you see it, you get distracted.
Yes, and I get distracted and I just completely lose it, you know. But when it comes to music, it's very different.
Wow.
It's been years since I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it in August. I'm gonna do it on Monday, but never. But still, I'm handling it, you know, because maybe that's how I remember where is that track. But 2 months ago, I lost everything. So that was the time when I said, okay, maybe it was the sign from the universe.
Wow.
That.
What happened?
So I was playing in Kit Kat. It was Gegen party. It was amazing, actually, and I don't know. Maybe I was too overwhelmed or something. So I left the club. I went home. I directly went to bed, and I'm waking up and I'm like, where is the bag? bag is nowhere. That was the time when I first had my panic attack. I called the taxi, but it was nowhere to find, you know. And I realized I lost 3 USBs, 4,000 tracks. Okay, earplugs and headphones is fine. You pay and you get it. But I was lucky that 70% of the music I had backup. But the rest I lost it because there were some really sick tunes from the time when I started DJing, you know, even though I don't remember where I found them or what were they, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I took it as a sign from the universe. Maybe it's time to start to organize it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Have you started?
No. No.
One more month.
No. August.
But
Monday.
But do you have to organize them? Because in the end, if that's not disturbing you, it's not like your closet that would distract you.
No, it actually, I think I find it more convenient to, maybe I'm trying to find a shortcut, but I don't know, it's weird, it's very personal, you know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's how I feel more comfortable, because otherwise I would change it. Because if I don't feel comfortable somewhere, for example, in the room, in a messy room, of course I get up and clean it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's just in my mind that I know some DJs are so well organized, and maybe that's how I want to be. But I should stop comparing.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. Like maybe the way you working creatively and as a DJ you work, you don't need to have structure.
No.
Maybe it helps you to have chaos.
And I don't necessarily call it chaos, because I think it's still fine, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have my own guidance.
Yeah.
That's I find very, very convenient, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, with your eyes you remember, you just find it. Yeah.
It works somehow.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your DJing, and you played in Berghain for the first time 1 year ago.
Scary.
Yeah.
It was so scary.
Yeah, tell me more. Byte Records showcase.
Yes. It was an amazing party.
Yeah, I was there. I had the best time of life.
Oh my God,
yeah.
yes. I remember it was December, and Tamuna from Hidi is calling me, and she goes like, Nada, do you want to play in Berghain? And I'm like, can you repeat that? Well, I'll see if I'm
Maybe.
free. I don't know, I'll check that. But I'm like, Tamuna, why are you asking? And she goes like, yeah, because Hayden Face Fatal wanted to book you for opening slot in Berghain. And I'm like, call you later. And that's when I couldn't believe it, for sure. I went to my mom, she was like, is it good? She didn't know what because I was just like, you know. But then slowly started to get scared. Not scared of something coming and, you know, eating me, but just I realized that this is the place where I realized that I want to do this. I love this place. I love this environment. I love it, you know. I just love techno. I love these people, everything. And now time came that I have an opportunity to play there. And I was just like, wow, you know. And plus, I was responsible for opening the night, you know. I would say Berghain had an immense impact on my DJ career. I mean, in terms of like, that was the first time as a DJ when I said, okay, now I'm going to take it very professionally. I'm not rushing. I'm not trying to be fast. I'm not trying to show the best I can, you know, with my banger tracks at 12, you know, midnight.
30, yeah.
And I said, no, you cannot do that, you know, because it's time to prove to yourself as well that, because it's a really important part of the night, you know, which I never thought of before. I was just like doing my best, and I remember in Arezzo, I played crazy banger opening for real. I'm so sorry if you're looking, if you're watching this interview. And he came to me, he was like, why did you do that to me? I was there was lack of experience, I admit, you know. I wasn't, and I wanted to show and prove to everybody, and I'm like, I'm a good DJ, you know. I was young and unexperienced, and Vril was like, why did you do that? I'm like, whoopsie.
It was probably, was he playing live after?
Yes,
So even
and
harder to.
I finished track 145, and he was like, no, you're not doing this. So of course there were like a few experiences like that, but still I don't regret it, you know, because that it is what it is. But Berghain got me like, okay, you cannot just be very selfish and just play whatever, you know. I'm gonna respect the next DJ, I'm gonna respect the opening duties, and just like play what you like, you know. But I was lucky that dance floor got, you know, full really really soon, so I was able to build it up and just go wherever I wanted to go. And once I stood there behind the decks, I was just, that's good part of DJing, you know. If you feel comfy there, I really completely lost this like the feeling that I'm in Berghain and I have to play the best. No, I really did it the best I could.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed what's the most important part, because sometimes you can technically kill it, but you don't feel it, you know. But I was so impressed, you know, how it went, and during the night how I felt. I was like, okay, I was really good and big part of the night, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. What were you like? What was the learning from the experiences? Like, take your time.
Exactly, take your time. Listen to the tracks. Don't try to be like hardcore and like I'm gonna kill it, you know, because you have to also kill it as a opening DJ. You know what I mean? You have to listen and you have to respect the empty dance floor and the staff. You cannot just go crazy. You know, that's what I learned, because of course I felt pressure from this, you know, big thing of the Berghain, the name, and you know, all these things that made me actually to do it, you know, to respect myself and the club and the staff and everybody. And since then it has changed, and I take it very seriously, you know. When I play opening set, I love it. And
there's some beauty into also like from the perspective of the DJ, because it makes you more like, okay.
Yes, and it's about you, how you start the night, you know, how you create this atmosphere, which is important, you know. Because I've seen some, of course I have played on the almost empty dance floors, you know, but I have played dance floors where people just come to listen to your opening set, which is so nice, you know. And it's all about experience, I would say. Yeah,
it takes a bit of time to,
of course,
to get to the point.
I think being a good DJ is all about experience, you know. I don't think that some, of course, maybe Jeff Mills and DVS1 and Oscar Mulero were born the way they are, great DJs and musicians, but I mean that you have to let yourself grow, you know.
Yeah. And also, I mean, now we see them now, but they've been playing for 30, 40 years, right?
Yes, exactly. And for me, I would say that my DJ, like really professional career journey starts after pandemic, you know. Before that, I was just even really lost in myself. It doesn't mean that I wasn't playing music or just, no. At the time, I didn't even know what I wanted to play, because I was exploring it, you know. I was digging into so many different, you know, labels, and just didn't know what to do. But after pandemic, there was time when I was still lost, because all this like fast music wave came to the scene, which got me confused, and I was caught for a couple of months. But then when this like I don't know, this after pandemic energy just went from my body, I felt that okay, it's too much for me, you know. This is not where I want to be as a DJ. So then I slowly start to find my place. That's where I am now, and I'm so blessed to be here, because I feel it, you know. I'm very comfortable where I am now.
Tell me more in terms of how your relationship to music, your relationship to DJing, both,
Yeah.
or
You
that's
mean,
what changed.
exactly, like
Mhm.
I allowed myself to sing. I allowed myself to
Yeah.
be, even for some people, inappropriate for DJ to sing this, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know, trip hop, or you know, this
Yeah, you're expressing
different
yourself.
genre, you know. But I think it's fair.
Yeah. What do you think changed in you that allowed you to be more, I guess,
I
true?
grew up.
You grew up.
I think I just grew up, and I tried to not pay attention what others think about
Yeah.
me. You know, I
Mhm.
really don't care. You know, I'm who I am, and
Yeah.
I grew up. Of course, I don't know. I found myself probably. That made me be the way I am. You know,
Yeah.
be more open and be more brave, and to have courage. You know.
Yes, and for example, do you feel now whatever you're putting out, whether it's a DJ set or your upcoming releases, that is authentically you?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And before that, was it internal voices? Was it external people that were kind of like telling you things that, what blocked you?
Just the vibe, you know, like people being very skeptical, like
Of you, yeah, as you explained before.
Yeah, just like okay,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing. There wasn't. I mean, I don't want to like blame anyone or just be that to victimize myself, but obviously there was the thing that made me feel uncomfortable. You know, as a newcomer, as someone, you know, a baby on the scene, I didn't feel supported.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing. There's book that I keep recommending. It's called The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I don't know if you know.
No, but I will look.
Yeah, I'll tell you the details. But basically, Rick Rubin is huge producer, hip hop, kind of created hip hop. Some people say that as a producer. Extremely mindful guy, very spiritual, very good at what he does. And he wrote this book year ago where he explains how if the only way to actually not dilute your work, what we have inside, is that you do it for the audience of one.
Yes.
You don't try to second guess what the other people like, but it's you do it because you feel it.
Because there is no single thing that people will like
Yes.
about you. You know, of course there are people who support you, blah blah blah, but still, like, you are always somehow bad for someone, you know. So I mean, I don't find it interesting. There used to be times when I cared and when I really, you know, got damaged from people's, you know, behaviors and thoughts, but not anymore.
Yeah.
I'm living my life, you know.
It's a big thing.
It's a huge thing, you know.
So you shift, especially because you're an artist. You have to produce something that. No, sorry, you don't have to produce something, but if you decide to produce something, it should be really nata, NEUX.
Yes,
shouldn't be X, Y, Z mix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I really. That's why I created different genre, which might be odd for someone, but because otherwise it wouldn't be me. You know, if I created and if I dropped a techno track, it wouldn't be me.
Yes.
Because when it comes to producing music, but I mean now, you know, because what I've learned, there is no yesterday or tomorrow, it's today. And from today's perspective, that's how I felt as a producer, you know, like, I want to sing. There is, maybe the time will come when I want to, I don't know, write something, just drop the techno or whatever, but it's not the time yet, so.
Yes, and I think being able to not try to force it.
Exactly, and not try to follow the trends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you are not authentically doing and creating something, it won't be successful. I don't think so, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you stress about... no, sorry, go ahead.
Because I think music is, you know, alive. You
Yeah.
know, it's not just a thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's about feelings.
And what was coming to mind is what you were saying about all I want. You wrote it on a plane. It just came at you. It came from you. You know,
Yeah.
that moment, you felt you had to write it down in a context that is not normally where people make music. But fuck it, you know, it just came at you in the moment. That's
Exactly.
the authentic expression.
Exactly.
Instead of being, oh, I need to be in a studio to be able to write
yes,
something.
I need to be in this. Like, no, sometimes really like, I don't know. Somewhere that you cannot expect can just come the ideas, and you're like, fuck, I need to write it down, you know,
Yeah.
because you don't even you don't expect that, you know. That's how I see.
Yes. Does it happen a lot to you? That you, for example, you're doing something completely unrelated, and then you're like, I need to write this as fast as possible.
Yes, this is ADHD.
Yeah.
Making coffee, and suddenly you decide to just turn on the washing machine, and you're like, oh no, I need to write down something. It's my life.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Do you go with, for example, in the context of writing music, do you absolutely go with that? So if the music cancels you, unless you're driving and you know it's dangerous, do you stop everything else? You do music, you write the music?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that I stop something, but it just happens, you know, because I get numb in terms of like I cannot be somewhere else because I'm in my imagination doing something, which is, I think, the only part where I am not like overthinking or spinning, you know.
Yeah.
When I write down things or singing at home and, you know, listening to music, that's when I feel like there, you know. Otherwise I'm
Present.
just all the time spinning, you know. I'm like thinking about everything at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yes.
And one other question I wanted to ask you about, you know, performances. Was there any moment where something crazy happened to you while you were performing? That you were like, holy shit, I can't believe it.
Unfortunately, yes. I won't say any names or anything because I don't want to offend people. But so I was playing somewhere. It was in the morning, and like there was obviously very masculine energy, like male dominance, you know, on the dance floor, which got me very intimidated. You know, I was looking for girls. I'm like, girls, where are you? Like, I'm here, you know. And it didn't make me feel good, you know, seeing guys like, I don't know, like getting crazy, you know. And I remember the only thing I was thinking about during playing was just like, I need time to pass, you know. I need to finish it and just go home because I felt so insecure. Like, I mean it. Like, I really felt so insecure. It was summer, really hot, and I was wearing the white tank top and I don't know, something hoodie or something. It was really hot. I was sweating, but I couldn't took it off, you know, because I didn't feel safe. Not that someone would grab me or something, but you know, the feeling that you are like being stared at, like not in a way that you want them to, you know, the music or just, you know, it's okay to feel from people that, you know, they like you, blah blah blah, but just this like very masculine, like, you know,
intense
like
energy.
Yeah, it's too much.
Like observing you, making you uncomfortable.
It was a really bad experience, and
sorry.
that was the time when I said that okay, I don't know if I want to play outside for a bit of time, you know. You know, at open air parties, like when the sun comes up and just you're like, okay.
Because then you can really see
like, okay.
Yeah.
Put your glasses on.
I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, I'm lucky that it never happened again. Yeah. But I remember that, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
It must have been like, I mean, I don't know if it's traumatic or to what degree.
I mean, no, I'm not traumatized from that, but it was very uncomfortable. I remember the feeling disgusted, you know, like I was like looking for someone to, like, I don't know, to how can I forgot the word.
Support.
To rescue me.
To rescue you. Yeah.
I was like, fuck, help me.
Fuck.
And yeah, when I finished, I was just like, just took out the USB and I literally like ran to the car. I was just like,
I want to be out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's shit for you. I'm sorry that this
Yeah.
happened.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's also part of it, and I'm happy that I have experienced that. So now I know what's that, and what is a good party and what is a bad party. You know, like I can definitely say that.
Yeah, and what do you think in hindsight, a promoter that was like careful about this, or
No.
could they have done anything that?
Of course, like first of all, like seeing people. I don't know. I don't want to say that they were not like matching the party, because it's not nice to say, but just like they were obviously like having this, I don't know, like weird energy, which I think is a job of the face control or the bouncer or the promoters as well, because it's scary, like
makes you uncomfortable.
Playing for hours and just feeling constantly uncomfortable and just
shit.
intimidated is I don't know, ridiculous.
And probably this happened to other people.
Definitely, I'm sure.
On the dance floor, or imagine the toilets, or like
exactly.
it sucks.
But it happens, world is like that,
Yeah, it sucks even more.
Exactly. So when like some DJs are like, all the parties are great, it's not true. It's not true. There are some parties where you are out of it. You are not there. You're just working, which I hate. Because working and just playing sets for 4 hours and take it as a only job, it's really hard, If there is no energy, if there is no the vibe, connection, between you and crowd, that can be traumatizing,
It's tough. As a performer, being on the side of being the DJ who is in charge of the music for a certain amount of hours, do you feel some pressure in fostering that vibe, creating this environment?
Yes, but I do not call it a pressure. I take it as a responsibility, as a DJ. That of course, no, maybe I'm wrong, because sometimes it's a pressure, and we are also humans, and you cannot always bring the crazy vibe. But sometimes you're not in a mood, but you're responsible for people, who came for you, and you have to make them dance. And once I take it like as a responsibility, then I just get into it, If I don't continue to complain it and just like, I cannot do that, and then I just let myself, okay, now you're gonna do it, because you have to, you're here. I just relax and somehow feel it, But it's of course it happens. You cannot be always, the best DJ of the night. No.
Yeah. Also because the performance is scheduled. You have a life. Something can happen in your life that makes you feel shit mentally.
But you cannot cancel the show, because you cannot. But you're responsible, because you cannot just turn off the music and, sorry guys, something happened for me. In some ways you are responsible. As the doctor has to come to the work, because there are patients, who are waiting for. I mean, it's not maybe the best example, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's also somehow work sometimes,
Yeah. They have a responsibility.
Besides pleasure and passion.
Yeah, I know, for sure. And for example, do you feel your life is in balance now that you're touring and playing?
Yes, definitely.
You have a balance.
Otherwise, I think I wouldn't be able to play and be a DJ, because for me, sometimes my mental health can be a very fragile thing, which has a huge role, of course. And if I don't live my life in balance, then I lose it, I have to take care of myself. I have to go to the gym, get up, get out from the bed, see the sun, drink water, eat real food, um, not to get wasted too much anymore, you know, just to take care of it, you know, and just find this inner peace. Otherwise, it's, for me personally, it's impossible to be productive and to work.
Are there specific things you do for that during the week, for example?
Yes, I go to sauna, I go to yoga, I do yoga, I do gym, CrossFit, I do just, I walk and I see friends and I don't know, I'm living life that makes me feel good, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm even getting more excited about my job, you know? Being like this calm before storm, you know? There's like, I don't know, very relaxed and nice week, and then you just go and work, and that's how I find it like joyful, you know? Because if I was too much on, I don't know, something like partying, wasting my time on, you know what I mean, like in a bad environment, of course it can be still nice, but it will be short. You know, because it's very energy depriving, you know, like I'm not 18 anymore, you know, I partied like animal. Seriously, from 18 to 22, like non-stop, every weekend, I was just like, wow. So I party sometimes as well. Of course, how can I not?
Yeah, I mean, it's
but
important.
I try to take care of it, you know, just to keep this part, like partying, very special. Also, when you are working and when you're traveling, you need your energy, you know, and you cannot just go every Sunday, you know, on a party, because you can't.
Yeah, it's because I mean, and also like your work days are shifted compared to a lot of other people. So also, if you have friends, you want to see them during the week, you cannot be completely smashed during the week. You need to be able to, I don't know, go out on a Monday.
And you are responsible for yourself, because I remember like being younger, like 18 to the 23 or 22, I was just like doing it, and I was capable of doing it, you know, because during the week I could still do things, you know. But now I see myself as like, okay, now you need to keep this for Tuesday, for example, because you're gonna meet that, you're gonna do that. You need to just, I don't know, get ready for something. It doesn't necessarily mean that a gig or something. You know what I mean? Like just to keep it calm, you know, because life is beautiful. Honestly.
And there is so much
to live. There is so much to do. Yeah.
Do you know what makes you happy in life?
Of course. My family, my friends, people around me, my job, like everything. I'm very grateful, you know. The most important thing, what I've learned recently, is that it's a 2-day, you know. Actually, there is a great book which has changed my mind. It's called The Power of Now, and it's about that, you know.
It's Eckhart Tolle?
Yes, it's an amazing book. It actually helped me to realize that, okay, there is no yesterday or tomorrow, it's today. Plus that you have to be grateful, you know. And gratitude is something that keeps you alive, I think. Yeah.
Do you mentioned it before, you don't meditate really, but do you practice some sort of like gratitude reflection?
Of course, I do affirmations all the time. I write it down, or I don't know. I do everything possible I can to feel better, you know? I mean, not necessarily meaning that like I don't feel good and I'm always seeking for, you know, something, but just to learn that there are some ways, very natural way. You don't need money for that, you know. You don't need nobody's help or support. You just sit down and listen to yourself. I don't know, but you have to believe it, you know. It's not just like write down, okay, I want to have a car. No. I want to have $1 million. No, it doesn't work that way.
I agree.
It's just it has to come out, you know. So but I never did that before. I just started doing it like 2 years maybe, and
it's some of the most happy people that I know, or like sustainably happy, not just like happy for a moment.
Yeah.
They all practice gratitude like this, you know.
Yeah, like I think when you find this like the key to the point where you feel and you express this gratitude towards anything, nobody's like forced to be grateful for something present. Just be grateful for the weather, and these small things like really make big changes, like really, really big changes. Just be grateful for something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for being here,
Yeah.
and then it's a cycle, I think.
Yeah, it makes you aware. You start really saying.
Yes, you just express this positive energy, and it comes back for sure.
Yeah. The sun in Berlin.
Yes.
You can see people are like, everybody's
I've been
grateful.
so grateful since 2 years, and like I have never seen this warm Berlin. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It arrived.
Yes.
Very nice. I have a few more questions before we wrap up. I wanted to ask you. Okay, if you have to choose one closing track for the rest of your life.
Ooh. I know. If I have, I don't want to choose it in general, but if I have to choose it, it would be 2 months of Underworld.
2 months of Underworld.
Yes,
Okay.
That would be, because I love it.
Okay. I need to dig it. I don't think, at least it doesn't come to mind.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And let's say you're stuck on a deserted island. There's nothing. There's just like palms and sand and the water.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for maybe 10 days.
Okay.
You can choose one artist that can be, not a musician, can be any type of artist, dead or alive, person you know, person you don't know.
Okay.
Who would that be?
Tom York.
Tom York?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I would love to just chat with him, ask him, listen to him. Just, I don't know, just say hi. Hi.
Hi.
I exist.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And
definitely Tom York.
What is a guilty pleasure track of yours?
Oh no, should I say? Should I not? Okay. It's been on my mind recently so much.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to hear it?
Yes. Go for it.
I don't know what. Bring it.
Bring it
Telephone in the studio. Wait. Okay. Ready?
On a plate.
Ready? Where is it? Wait. Where are you, Chris Brown? But why am I laughing? It's a sexy song. No, you're gonna like it. I love this vibe, sexy vibe.
Yeah. Slow. And why guilty pleasure? You would never play that in a set.
Never. Never, but I don't know, sometimes when there is, so on Spotify or somewhere, you just play the track and then it just goes whatever.
Can you sing aloud one of your tracks?
Yes. Maybe Joy?
Mm-hmm.
You mean a cappella?
Yeah. We can put it on if you want.
No, it's okay.
Bring the plate.
Yeah. Microphone.
Microphone.
Whenever I'm with you, I can take everything from you. I can give everything for you. No devils can come, no near to us above the sky.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, maybe you want to hear something. There is a draft of the upcoming.
Oh, the new
I'm
one?
spoiling people now.
Wow.
Nobody has ever heard about it. It's called Am I Loca?
That's it, yeah, one of the next two.
Wait. Okay, in the middle because I don't want to spoil it. Only when you look the broken side. Angel knows my frozen heart. I chose an angel. Of my frozen face. It will come out soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, me too.
And I have two more questions as well.
Okay.
One is, what are you excited for in the next future? I know you don't think about the future, but...
No, I'm lying. I'm of course thinking about the future. That's where I get my anxiety from.
So just like back
Period. I'm like, no, I don't. Being like very spiritual, I don't think about future. Of course,
It's only present.
I think about everything. You know,
Mhm.
everything.
Literally.
But I'm trying to be present.
Mhm.
I'm
And-
excited about. I don't know, life in general. Seriously, like
Mhm.
summer and traveling and these two tracks as well. Because
Yeah.
I feel more powerful now, and I wrote some other stuff 2 days ago, and yeah, I'm really motivated and inspired right now. You know, and I
Mhm.
hope I'm gonna keep it up.
Yeah, for sure you will. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
I will
excited for the
try.
tracks. Yeah, and for the live
Yes.
in July.
Yeah, you're definitely coming.
Yeah, we're coming for sure.
It's gonna be a birthday celebration, 13th of July, and
Uh-huh.
then we're gonna do the live.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But imagine, is this the first time I sang something in this
In
interview?
live.
Yes.
Yeah. Last question. We ask everybody to suggest a question we should ask the next guest. What would that be?
How are they feeling?
How are
but
they
like
feeling
really like
right now?
deeply. How are you feeling? Because it's not like, hey, how are you? I'm good, and you? No.
Mhm.
I want to know, how are you?
How are you really?
Yes, like how are you feeling, and what are your thoughts, and you know, just being on this earth, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And there is a question for you. For you, what does it mean to be an artist?
Oh, it's like therapist probably
Mhm.
for some people,
Mhm.
and you feeling shit,
Yeah.
and you being the most depressed sometimes, but being very helpful to others.
Mhm.
And I think it's a therapist, you know. If you're a good artist, not good, I didn't mean that, but like if you're an artist,
Yeah.
I think you're as well a therapist.
Very good.
Yeah, you help people.
Yeah. To process emotions
Exactly,
and to let
yes.
things go.
Yes.
Very good. Nata, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
It was so cute.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I want to stay here
Thank
and
you.
talk more.
We will do part 2.
Yeah.